Now there are three main tools we have available to us to prepare our pigeons for a race. Motivation, fitness, and I include health under this heading, and feeding. Today I would like to talk to you about feeding our pigeons to win. Everything is important in pigeon racing. You must have good pigeons, a good loft and good management. But having said that, and all things being equal, if you can feed your pigeons correctly you can win more than your share of races. So what day of the week do we want our pigeons ready to race? The answer is obvious: race day, Saturday. But how many of us stop to consider if we want our pigeons ready to race on Saturday, we don't want them ready to race on any other day? Because if our pigeons are ready to race on a Monday or Tuesday or any other day, then probably they will not be ready to race when we need them on race day. So, we want our pigeons ready to race on Saturday, but not on any other day, so we are looking to finish our preparation for a race on a Saturday. To have a finishing day for our preparation, we must also have a start day. For me, that is the previous Saturday. I want all my pigeons to go to a race or training flight on the previous Saturday. If it's a training flight, I want a flight of at least an hour and prefer 1¼ to 1½ hours on the wing. When they come home from their flight, be it from a race or training, I feed them well, and Sunday morning they are again well fed and given a bath. Sunday evening it's a light feed, and again on a Monday morning, another light feed, and the same again on Monday evening. Also, depending on the time of the year and the distance, I may add extra barley to their race mix. I use my judgment to decide how much I feed them, but if I had to guess I would say about half to 3/4 their normal feed at this time of the week. By Monday evening my pigeons are hungry, and I have established three things. My pigeons have an appetite. They are hungry from the flight they had and their exercise around the loft since Saturday, as well as the reduction to their feed ration. I have also taken them down a little in condition, which means they are not ready to race. But they're now ready to begin their preparation for the next weekend's race. Now, depending on whether we are basketing on the Thursday or Friday night, I will start my prep on Tuesday morning or Tuesday evening. If we are basketing Thursday, I start the build-up Tuesday morning, but if basketing is Friday, I wait until Tuesday evening. I need a slow, even build-up in their preparation, slowly increasing the amount of feed I give them and at the same time maintaining their appetite. By that I mean, I am slowly satisfying their hunger and building them up ready for the race, but I am also maintaining a consistent appetite in the pigeons, which I believe is very important and difficult to do. Obviously, I am slowly satisfying that appetite, but in a slow, even and consistent manner so that they reach their peak by the basketing day. Now that sounds easy, but it's much harder than it sounds. Pigeons have a crop, we all know that, but how many stop to consider what impact that crop has on our feeding them? A crop does not tell a pigeon when it has had enough to eat, it's just like a bag. For example, if I go into an orchard and start eating apples, I can only eat so many before my stomach tells me I have had enough, I am full. But if I take a bag into that orchard, I can fill it up and take it away and eat many more apples at my leisure and in safety, before the farmer comes along with his shotgun. It's the same for our pigeons. They are prey animals, lots of predators want to catch and eat them, and so a crop is a very useful tool for them. They can quickly fill that crop with any feed they may find and then clear off at the first sign of danger and digest their meal at their leisure and in safety. But that crop is now a problem for my feeding. I have created an appetite in my pigeons. They are hungry because of the flight they had last Saturday and the reduced ration they have had up until now. They want to eat, and given the opportunity, they will fill that crop of theirs with as much feed as they can get. Now the problem is, if I let them fill their crop with grain, when their next feed comes around, and I feed twice per day, they will have lost their appetite, because they filled their crop at the last feed, and have digested that grain, and now they have lost that edge to their appetite. But now when the next feed comes around they will be hungry once again because they didn't eat much at the last feed, and now they want to fill that crop again. This is the last thing I want. I need to be building them up slowly and steadily while maintaining their appetite at the same time. Not up and down, hungry at one feed and not the next. If I can get that feeding right in a slowly rising plane, reaching a peak on the basketing night, my pigeons will be full of energy at the right time, primed and ready to perform at their best on race day. Now they have to go to a race or a flight because they are full of energy and need to burn that energy off. The energy the pigeons have built up is in the form of fats that have been stored in the muscles of the pigeons. These fats are a ready source of available energy for our pigeons. Some refer to this fat as brown fat, the English often call it new fat. The point is, it is an immediately available energy source to power their flight home. We can feel this energy when we handle our birds on the basketing night, nice swollen breast muscles, caused by the storage of fats in the muscle fibers. Now if they don't use up this brown fat supply during their flight home, Their body will look to store the surplus as white fat in various body cavities. This white fat is not a readily available source of energy and would only be drawn on during hard times, such as getting lost. Feeding and preparing racing pigeons is a skill that takes time, experience, and practice to master. It's not something that can be learned overnight, but with dedication and an understanding of the goals we're trying to achieve, it is possible to get our pigeons ready for a race every week throughout the racing season. One important aspect of pigeon feeding is ensuring that our birds eat all the grains in our mixture, not just their favorites. Pigeons won't necessarily eat grains in the exact ratio we've selected for them, so it's up to us to train them to eat every grain in our mix, especially larger grains like maize. Since pigeon racing is a team sport, we need to send a team of birds to cover all the variables that might affect a race. This includes factors like race conditions, age and sex of the birds, and whether they're being prepared for future races. To ensure that all our birds are getting the energy they need from our mixtures, we need to make sure that each bird is eating all the grains in the mix. Feeding and preparing racing pigeons is a skill that takes time, experience, and practice to master. It's not something that can be learned overnight, but with dedication and an understanding of the goals we're trying to achieve, it is possible to get our pigeons ready for a race every week throughout the racing season. One important aspect of pigeon feeding is ensuring that our birds eat all the grains in our mixture, not just their favorites. Pigeons won't necessarily eat grains in the exact ratio we've selected for them, so it's up to us to train them to eat every grain in our mix, especially larger grains like maize. Since pigeon racing is a team sport, we need to send a team of birds to cover all the variables that might affect a race. This includes factors like race conditions, age and sex of the birds, and whether they're being prepared for future races. To ensure that all our birds are getting the energy they need from our mixtures, we need to make sure that each bird is eating all the grains in the mix.